on this today. Are you surprised that Bollywood actor Salman Khan has been acquitted of all charges against him following a hit and run in 2002? 08459 440 445 is the number to call. You can drop me a text, 81869, email thehile@bbc.co.uk, or of course get in touch with us on social media, Facebook or Twitter. I'm going to go to our first guest this morning, Anisha Bhavnani, who's a blogger from India. Very good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure.
What was your initial reaction when you found out, Anisha?
So when I did find out, I got a notification on my phone, and I was so surprised because I have been following this case for a really long time now because it's going on for so long. And now in the end, there's one person who's dead and 4 people with lifelong injuries, but nobody to take responsibility for them. And it's just the lack of immediacy in judgment and the delayed justice that caused so many problems, and the fact that he's an influential actor. I'm just so shocked that he could actually be acquitted after getting an actual jail sentence of 5 years. He appealed, and now there are no charges, which is the most surprising thing.
Do you think that reflects the sort of view in India as well after his conviction? I mean, we just had an update from Haroon, who told us that he's signed up to all these films, he's got all these projects going on, and that's happened since his conviction in May.
Yeah, sadly, I feel he's idolized a bit too much in India and even abroad. And people tend to forget that I saw Bajrangi Bhaijaan. I think he's a good actor, but they seem to forget that he did kill a person, and you need to pay for what.
Well, actually, this is the point, though, with judges saying there isn't enough conclusive evidence to say that he did. This is the point. So we can't say that anymore.
I feel like after 13 years, you can't say anything, if that's the case. After 13 years, nothing is reliable anymore. No statement is reliable. No witness is reliable. So, what are you left with in the end? What's the point of the entire judiciary and the independence of the judiciary when they take 13 years for a verdict and he's acquitted, and we have no idea what the evidence really is, because he was supposed to be the whole thing was that he was driving drunk, and now they're saying it was the burst of a tire and a crane fell on the people, causing them the injuries and causing the death of a person. So it's surprising how much can change and how you can change theories so much and manipulate them to, I feel like, just to suit him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the reaction been around you?
So actually, because it just happened today,
right.
I haven't...
Too early to gauge.
Yeah, it's probably a bit too early, especially because, it's just around 10 o'clock here. But definitely in India, what I've been... from the tweets that I've been seeing, I've seen a lot of people in support of him and saying that he was innocent all this while and it was finally proven. And I haven't really read much opposition against it. And that's really surprising, in fact.
Yeah.
And there's so many people I know, my friends, my relatives, who are happy about it, and because they really like Salman Khan. And I don't understand it.
Okay. All right. Anisha, stay there. I'm going to bring some of our other guests into the conversation at this point. We will come back to you. Asim, very good morning to you.
Hi.
Hello. What do you think? Are you surprised that Salman Khan's been acquitted of all charges after being given a 5-year sentence in May?
Honestly, I wasn't really following the case that much. I'm happy for him that he's been acquitted because it's been kind of hanging over his head for a long time, and it's really affected the kind of movie choices he's making. It's even apparently affected his personal life and the dating choices he could make. So I'm happy that the verdict is out one way or the other. I am sad, obviously, for the people that died. But I think at the end, it is on the justice system. And if you believe in a justice system, you have to kind of follow the rules. And they just didn't have the proof to convict him. So
there was proof to convict him in May, but that's now since been overturned.
Yes.
By the High Court.
Yes, I mean if you believe kind of in the law of the land and how the court system works, and I think that's how a country should work. You have to kind of lay your faith in the justice system. Obviously, they have the resources to defend themselves, but I don't think that's something that you can really put against them.
Asim, what do you think it says about the justice system in India when this case only came to trial last year, 2014, 12 years after this hit and run where, 3 homeless people were hit and injured and one was killed. A 4th person was killed.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the bigger issue, that why does it take so long for these cases to appear? Why is there such a big backlog? And I know that there's a recent movie that came out called Court, which was really about that is basically a very old and Kafkaesque system that just takes ages. And that's probably why one of the reasons why they couldn't even get the proof together to convict him. So that's a sad state of affairs, and it's also a sad state of affairs that people are sleeping on the street. So I think those two things are quite sad in general. But I mean, I think if you are in that position working in the court system, they're just probably overloaded. The infrastructure to provide the thing is, it's easy for us maybe to judge sitting in England that, where we do have kind of a proper setup. That judging India and saying that this isn't correct or this isn't, I'm sure they're working on getting things improved, but I mean, it's just such a massive country, it's difficult.
But I mean, the facts are quite clear, though. It's taken more than a decade for this case to come to court. Somebody's been killed. The car he was in was involved. And if there's during proper process, people can't get their heads around why it's taken this long. And of course, the questions about if this was a poor man, it happened to him, it'd be the other way around, who'd killed, was accused of killing somebody who was rich, from a rich background. Would we be in this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always it's a tough discussion to have. I think in every aspect of life, rich people have it much easier than poor people. So it's not just the justice system, but it would be in any aspect of life, I think definitely he has the public support behind him, and he could also do a lot of charity work that created some goodwill, I imagine, which was a smart strategy. I think if you are a lawyer, you're the legal team of Salman Khan, you want to do everything you can to acquit him. So I think today, at least, they won the day. So I guess good for them.
Why do you think so many people are in support of him? Because I can't help but think if this had happened here and there was a high-profile actor who was in a similar situation, the public opinion, I can't help but think, would be very different towards him. What is it about being a superstar, being Salman Khan in India, that makes a difference?
I mean, the way I see Bollywood stars, it's the way a lot of people in England feel about their football team. And there's a lot of, for example, racism going on, and people don't change their teams, I mean, there's a lot of racist chantings going on in stadiums. People don't give in their fan club card, right?
That's a good point.
And it's kind of very similar. If you're on Team Salman, you're on Team Salman. And that can never change. We have relationships with the actors that go back 3 decades, We saw them in their debut movies, and now we see them kind of grow up in front of our eyes. We identify them. A lot of our sense of romance, how we talk to our elders, is all based on what we see on Bollywood movies. So it has a very close connection to it. And some people, their sense of romance is completely based on the way Shah Rukh Khan does things, A lot of people's sense of social justice is the way Amir Khan approaches things. And I know that a lot of young men see an aspect of respectability and masculinity in the way Salman Khan does things. So I think there's always, we project ourselves on these actors, and I think that's why it leaves such a big kind of impression on us. But I don't think it's much different than what English people feel towards their football club, or Americans feel towards, their NSL or whatever else they watch. I mean, those kind of sports things have their own issues enough with the wife beating and dog fighting and whatever else goes on there.
Okay, Asim, that's an interesting viewpoint. Do you agree? Do you think it's no different to people supporting their favourite football team here, with the same sort of standards, if you like, apply? 08459 440 445 is the number to call. 81869 is the text number if you have a view on this. I'm just going to read through some of the messages coming in before we go to Karan and Gunjan as well. Hi, this is from Bup Bati. Hi, no, not at all. It's just a mockery of justice in India. Money wins. That's what happens. Main witness who was in the car with him died. Witnesses aren't protected. Nothing will change in India. It's a very, very sad day for a poor man who was killed and many others who were injured. If the person who died was rich, the result would have been different. Tina, good morning. Not surprised, really, about the Salman Khan acquittal. It shows the systematic corruption in the Indian justice system. It pays to be famous and poor people are treated as dirt. Can Salman's own conscience ever forgive him? If nothing gets you, time will. Thank you. That's from Raj in Leicester. Let me know what you think. Are you surprised that Salman Khan's now been acquitted of all charges against him following a hit and run 13 years ago, despite being convicted and being given a 5-year jail sentence in May of this year? Let me know your views. Karen, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Are you surprised by this verdict?
Yes, completely.
What was your reaction when you found out?
Shocked.
Yeah. Why?
Completely shocked about this, because it took 13 long years to get to this verdict. After 30 long years of the hard work by the prosecution lawyers, by the police, they proved him in mind that he is guilty and he has done it. And he got 5 years of punishment for that. But now all of a sudden in 4 or 5 months, I don't know what has changed. How one judge sees him as guilty, another judge sees him as not guilty.
Okay. Well, at the moment, an appeal court saying there isn't enough evidence of convicting him of culpable homicide, of saying that he was driving the car or that he was under the influence of alcohol at the time.
I tell you something. I tell you this on this thing also. Today's Salman verdict is very, you can say it's very laughable. According to that, in India, the self-driven car was invented in 2002 only. In today's court verdict, court does not have any answer who was driving the car then.
Yeah.
Is there any answer for that?
All the details are still coming out. What do you think? How do you think everyone else is feeling about it at the moment? You're in Delhi, aren't you?
Yes, I'm in Delhi and I'm very active on Twitter. People on Twitter are feeling sad about it, that law failed today and the rich and powerful, as always, wins.
Yeah.
And they think that law is in their pockets.
He has such a huge following in India, though, and worldwide. So, yes, on Twitter you might get one perspective, but, this is someone who has 25 million likes on their Facebook page, 12 million odd Twitter followers. He has a huge following.
Agree. That's what the problem is. His fans actually defend him in anything. He has been facing cases in other matters also. He has other cases pending also. They always try to defend him and his wrong deeds. It doesn't make him not guilty.
Yeah.
If his fans are defending him.
What was the reaction there in May, where you are?
My reaction, I felt that finally judiciary in our country prevailed. The law prevailed. If you are able to punish an actor so powerful, influential like Salman, that means a law in a country still stays. The law is there. But now I'm totally shocked and feeling the opposite now.
Okay. Thank you, Karan. I want to get your views on this as well. Hi, Tina. As angry as I am at Salman Khan being let go scot-free, I'm not surprised at all. I grew up in India and know how far money and fame go, especially when you are in judicial trouble. He should be ashamed of himself and his preachy ways. He annoys me no end. And his fans are even more stupid than we ever thought hardcore fans could be. Talk about blind faith. Disgusting. That's from Priya. And this from Sawney, money talks. That's all they're saying. Let me know what you think. 08459 440445 is the number to call. You can drop me a text to 81869. I want to know if you're surprised that Salman Khan has been acquitted of all charges against him following a hit and run in 2002 in which one person, a poor person, a homeless person, died. Do you feel sorry for Salman Khan? It's taken 13 years to get this outcome. What does this say about the Indian justice system? Get in touch, let me know what you think, and we'll speak to Gunjan next.
बैठ ता सही तू मेरे कोल नी तेरे नखरे अदामा तेनू याद करवा मैं जदों कर दे हुंदे सी जोड़ मोड़ नी तेरी मेरी नी कहानी गल छेड़ा कोई पुरानी आजा बैठ ता सही तू मेरे कोल नी तेरे नखरे अदामा तेनू याद करवा मैं जदों कर दे हुंदे सी जोड़ मोड़ नी उदों सिखर दुपहरा लगे सीत लहर जिहा जदों तेरे यारां दे विच सीगा खड़दा ਪਿੰਡ ਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰਨੀ ਤੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਸੀ ਪੌਣੇ 11 ਵਜੇ ਕੋਠੇ
male-dominated scene, we are finally shining the spotlight on female talent.
Over the years, I've seen more women coming into this market, and we need more.
Women in Bhangra, a season of live sessions.
I'm excited क्योंकि मेरा first live session हुआ है BBC पे.
I believe live music is real music.
Celebrating female artists.
I'm so pleased to be part of this great celebration.
Featuring Shazia Judds, People Call, Mona Singh and Sarika Gill.
Women should step up and compete with the guys for once.
Women in Bhangra with Dips Bamra. Download it now on the BBC iPlayer radio app.
The time now is 10:34. I'm Tina Dahealy, and this morning on the BBC Asia Network phone-in show, we're getting your reaction to the news that one of India's biggest and most popular stars, the actor Salman Khan, has had his conviction for hit and run overruled by a court in Mumbai. He was sentenced to 5 years in jail in May for crashing his car into a group of homeless people, killing one man. And now a judge has decided there wasn't enough evidence to convict him, so that's now been overruled. What's your reaction to the news? The number's 08459 440 445. You can text to 81869. Are you surprised? I mean, this has divided opinion amongst Indians in India and over here. Do you think this sends out a message that, you know, poor person's life isn't as important? This hasn't done anything to hinder Salman Khan's career. He's still got a massive, loyal fan base, mostly male and young in India. You know, they like the fact that he lives with his parents, he does charity work, he's devoted to his family, he has a reputation for going out of his way to help friends and even strangers. He started a charity a few years ago. Or do you think this makes a mockery of the justice system in India? Let me know your views. I'm going to go to Shayna, who's got in touch with us next. Shayna, very good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you?
Okay. Yes.
And how are you reacting to this news this morning?
I'm shocked.
Why are you shocked?
Salman Khan has a big fan base. He's a role model. People follow him for what he does in life. And I think he's changed. And people are supposed to look up to him, but because of what he's done, I think it's put a mark on his life.
Well, I should say the judge has found that, you know, there isn't enough evidence to say he's done anything. That conviction's been overruled of culpable homicide.
But how can one judge charge him for 5 years and another one say he's been acquitted? There's obviously something going on there which isn't right. And I think money shouldn't be an issue. I think everyone should be treated equally, and I think it's really not good.
So do you think this would have been different if it wasn't Salman Khan, if it was somebody who was unknown?
Definitely, yeah, they would have been charged. And I think Salman Khan should feel it and feel the fact that he has done something rather than pushing it away. Because he's killed a human being.
Well, the judge has found we can't say that he was convicted in May, but you know, Mumbai court said he hasn't. His conviction's been overruled. There isn't enough evidence for us to say that.
There isn't. Yeah.
Are you a Bollywood fan, Shayna?
I am. Yes.
You are.
Yeah.
And how does it make you feel about the films that you've watched that he starred in, and any films that he may star in the future? Will that affect what you watch?
Yeah, I don't know about affect what I watch, but it has made me think twice. Every time his name is mentioned, I have that feeling, or that, you know, it comes up that he could have done something, he's injured somebody, or, you know, and the fact that he hasn't done anything about it. Had he have said, yes, I was drinking driving and I might have injured some people and I'm really sorry for it.
But he's saying I have to keep coming back to it. But he's saying, and a judge is saying there isn't enough evidence to say he was driving, or in fact under the influence.
The judge is saying he wasn't.
There isn't enough evidence to say that he was under the influence or even driving at the time.
So, you know, there was charges. Were there charges made before?
that he was drink and driving, or did they assume?
Well, no, all those charges. I mean, it's almost a case of saying, look, forget all those charges. The latest that we can say is that he's, a judge has found him, not guilty. I'll say, who's overruled that conviction.
Yeah, I think they need to go back and have a think.
Okay, Shayna, thank you very much. Gunjan, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you surprised?
Well, more than surprised, it's kind of funny to actually understand that he has been acquitted of all the charges after 13 years of trial and charges being pressed against him. And then you come up finally and say that, okay, he's not guilty. That's pretty funny and, yeah, shocking as well.
How have people around you reacted, or is it too early? Where are you based?
I'm in Hyderabad in India,
okay.
and I can see the social media being pulled up with all the tweets. I've been observing all the tweets from the morning, and it seems that no one is actually happy about the result that has been coming out recently. And having said that, I see that there's a lot of blind fan following of Salman Khan and blind faith. And, well, in India, they say that it's a blind law. So even after the evidence being tampered, and we see that we have observed the case for 13 years now, and the last verdict was Salman Khan would be convicted for 5 years, and which the judge against appealed and said that because of his charity work, we should let him go and waive off at least 2 years and cut it down to 3 years maybe. And then it was again pushed back to December. And now the tables are turned, and we finally come to know that he's been acquitted of all the charges. He will be getting his passport back, and everything is just gone. Right?
Yeah.
There was no incident at all. The worst part over here that I feel is that Salman Khan promotes the charity named Being Human, and now that he's being pressed of all the charges of killing a person, and now it's actually an irony. And the worst part of the irony is he runs the charity named Being Human. Is he really trying to be a human, or he's a human? That's what I'm confused about and kind of shocked.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's a charity to help the underprivileged through education and healthcare. And I think it sells T-shirts and products.
Absolutely, right.
And the proceeds are used for charitable work. Yeah. All right, Gunjan, thank you for now. I want to bring Husna in next. Husna, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hello,
how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Our discussion.
Thank you. Actually, I love Salman, and it's not just because I love him, but I think they should just leave him alone and just let him do some charity work, just helping people, and that's it. I think it's been a long time, and because it's been going long, he's been suffering as well, maybe. Because people are talking about it. Just start good, doing good, and now just people are jealous. That's why they're doing it. Because if they, what I'm saying is, the people who raped that girl in Delhi, they're still in the jail. They haven't done anything for them. They persecute them first. Rather
Hang
than
on,
Salman,
that's
picking on Salman all the time.
That's totally, unconnected.
I know, but they keep picking on Salman all the time. They should just leave him alone now.
What do you mean picking on him?
It's been a long time. I know he's done wrong, but still, they should leave him alone. I think now it's been a long time. They should just let him do some charity or helping people.
Yeah. Are you saying that because he does all of this charity work, that makes it okay?
I think that's all now. Okay, because just leave him alone now. I think.
Okay, Husna, thank you very much for getting in touch. Do you agree with Husna? 08459 440 445 is the number, 81869 on the text. Is the fact that Salman Khan is devoted to his family, he lives with his parents, he has a reputation for helping strangers, he does work for charity, he's set up his own charity. Does that make a difference, do you think? Or are you disappointed? You feel let down by the justice system in India? What are your views? Anisha, I'm going to come back to you because we started the conversation with you. What do you make of all the conversation you've been hearing for the past half an hour?
I'm really surprised at what Husna just said about how we should leave him alone and let him do charity because he suffered so much. And I don't understand how you can sympathize with him because it does not make it okay. The fact that he allegedly killed somebody and for a while, of course, we thought he was under the influence of alcohol and he was the one driving. I definitely don't. I think it's all an eyewash. And we had Haseen come in earlier and say that, it affected his movie choices and dating choices. So he's finally free now. And I feel like we failed to see the bigger picture of how it actually affected a person and it actually took the life of a person. And now suddenly there's nobody responsible for him.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely absurd to be able to speak like that. And it gives the impression that justice can be bought in India. And that it's just, I think it's just an eyewash. And it's all based on influence. And the richer you are and the more famous you are, it just works that way.
Yeah. What message do you think it sends out about the just the justice system in India to everyday people living there, to ordinary people?
I think it's really sad. I mean, I'm in the UK now, and I'll be leaving for Bombay in just 5 days now, going back for the holidays. And I've been waiting to go. I've been missing Mumbai so much. But then when I hear things like this, it's just, I feel like it's so sad. And then you can't expect people to be patriotic. You can't expect people to defend the country when somebody talks about it. Because what can you say when the justice system itself isn't reliable, when you can't put your faith, when you can't feel safe in a country where people are let away so easily simply if they have money and fame. So it's really sad. I mean, there's nothing more I can say because yeah.
All right, Anisha, I'll leave it there for now. I want to go to Babinda and Kumar next. I'll get to some of your messages before I do. When questioning why it took so long for this verdict to come after 13 years, we need to understand the size of India. India has 1.3 billion people. The population of the UK is similar to the population of Gujarat, the 9th biggest state in India. We shouldn't look at India and ask why things take so long by looking through glasses of living here in the UK. That's an interesting perspective. That's from Bertha, and this from Anisha. I can't say whether I think Salman Khan is guilty or not since I haven't followed the case in detail, but it does reflect badly on the Indian justice system. One, that it's taken so long, then he was given a guilty verdict and now it's been overturned. I also believe Salman Khan has been judged rather harshly because of his fame. Like the blogger who just came on, everyone wants to presume him guilty of the crime whether he did it or not. Also, the innocent verdict is also questioned because of the wealth and fame. I fully appreciate that someone was killed and the perpetrator should be brought to justice, but I believe the justice system needs a serious upheaval in India. Maybe the case would have more credibility if it hadn't taken so long to get to court. That's from Anisha in Germany. Thank you very much. What do you think? Maybe you agree and you think that the fact that he's a celebrity means the justice system needed to make an example of him. That's why it's taken so long, with all this legal wrangling over a decade now. And the fact that he was then given a 5-year sentence. Maybe you feel sorry for him. Again, let me know what you think. Babinda, very good morning.